Hello again, my lovely thrall. It is good to see that you are up. Well, I was wondering, now that you've gotten a bit more accustomed to your power, maybe you wanted to go on a bit of an excursion. You know, test your flying abilities a bit beyond the gates. You see, I've been wanting to go see these Sakura lanes, and I feel it might be the best way to test your abilities. The way there, we can mostly fly extremely high, and then we can test how you are at a lower altitude as well. But, of course, only if you're comfortable. If you'd rather just stay and keep practicing around the castle and within the courtyard, I'm not going to force you to go beyond the walls. You do want to go? All right then. I'm glad to hear it. Now you must hurry and get ready, for sunset is soon, and I would like to leave when the sun sets. Oh, but before you get dressed, dearie, mm, you simply are delicious. I told you drinking more water would do you some good, and now your blood is delectable. Well, I'll see you in 5. All right? Don't keep me waiting too long. Oh, that outfit looks simply amazing on you. Well, do you have everything that you will need for the trip? It is going to be a bit of a long fly while you're still getting used to controlling your speed and the like, but it shouldn't take too long. So if we do need to come back for some emergency thing, it's not the end of the world, but I would rather us be prepared for everything that we need out there. Alright? Good. So you're all ready then? Well, let's get flying. And remember, if you need to take it slower, that is fine. If you need a break, let me know. And if you're losing your balance at all and feel you might start to lower in altitude and perhaps even fall, then I shall take you into my cloak. Alright? Because I can't do with my thrall falling out of the sky. So, with all of that in mind, let's be out then. Your flying is getting much, much, much better. Your stability is great. Your form is outstanding. Your clothing is quite practical, too. I do allow you to choose as you wish. So, part of it is seeing how practical of clothing you choose for straight flying, till eventually you can transform. Once you transform, you can dress in whatever you like. But it's a little harder to fly with big, bellowing capes and the like until you're a bit more used to it. But you are doing quite well. You are doing simply amazing. You are probably one of the better thralls who have caught on to flying, I will say. Though I will say your transformation could use a bit more work, but we will get to that at a later date, so don't you worry. Just focus on maintaining your flying. I find that to be a more useful ability than anything. Because to fly quickly as a bat, you still need to master flying in a supernatural manner. Though I think you could pick up the speed a little bit. But regardless, we are heading near our destination, so perhaps it'd be best if we joined together and arrive a bit more discreetly, just so we don't have to fly into a spot that's a bit further out, so it'll only be a short walk away, instead of being a mile out or something. After all, the Sakura Lane is quite busy during the day, and at night less so, but still with its frequent goers, including ourselves, naturally. Alright, come on, get nice and close. I do need you close to envelop into my cape, after all. So don't be shy. There we go. You're quite a good thrall. Now let us be on our way. Ah, the streets are as pristine as ever. And thankfully it seems that the crowd is mostly gone. The lights are quite nice, they're still very nicely lit, with a nice clear path for us to casually stroll arm in arm, as we do. I've always enjoyed the sakura blooms quite a bit. I hope you do as well. I hope this isn't just you accepting a trip just for the sake of going out. I genuinely enjoy these. Why? Oh. Well, do you know the history of Sakura Lane? No? Well, Sakura Lane, while it might seem like any other path of cherry blossoms, is special. For each one of these trees are related. They are all the same, essentially. Their parent tree is no longer of this world. It was a grand old sakura that lived atop the mountain and was well guarded and protected, even had a shrine dedicated to it. But a terrible, terrible fire destroyed the shrine and the tree itself. And there was hardly anything left of it, except a handful of seeds. And those seeds were planted, cared for, nurtured, and became this lane. This lane is all the seedlings left from that great old sakura. Now, you might say, why not just, plant the seeds of the seedlings? Well, for some reason they produce quite a few number of seeds. I'd say each tree bears about one cherry a year, and whether or not that seed will even grow into a tree is for debate, up to the test of fate. In a way, these trees are similar to us vampires. Obviously not you thralls, but we vampires are also quite long-lived, and there are so few of us. Do you know what it's like to be part of a species that there are less than 100 of you? Do you know what it's like when the reason isn't even one of your own fault, but one of nature? Well, we of course can turn mortals into vampires. In reality, it's much harder than you think. It's much easier to turn one into a thrall. Thralls are like if a dwarf and an elf had a child. It's a sort of half-breed, almost. But if you were to have a child with a human, that child would still be human. But if a vampire were to have a child with you, then that child would be a vampire. Well, mostly at least. Vampires do not exist easily. If we wish to turn somebody, I I still don't tell you how, but it drains us a lot. The month after we are turning someone, both parties are severely drained. For the first week, both are practically immovable. The two are almost not exactly catatonic, but the fatigue is immense. And that's why vampires hardly ever turn anyone. They have a hard time finding another that they can trust to that level. They find it hard to be able to trust to that level. To find someone that you'd want to spend eternity with. To find someone that you would be your most vulnerable with. All those superstitions mean nothing to us. But when we are at our most vulnerable, everything can hurt us. That is the true nature of vampires. And that is why there are so few of us. Why we are like this Sakura lane. Why vampires are so rare, at least pure-blooded ones, whole vampires. I know that's a lot. I'm sorry for for talking your ear off on matters that I'm sure you really do not care for. But it's the truth. Oh. Well, seems fate seemed to like the truth. Do you see what that is? It's a Sakura seed. One of these trees have graciously gifted it to us. I'll make sure to plant it in the garden. Oh, more on the vampires? It's fine. I've said my piece. I've honestly probably said too much to you. You're just quite easy to talk to. Apologies once more. Please, do not repeat what I have told you to anyone. What I've told you is a closely guarded secret. Many thralls do not know that their masters become far weaker upon turning a mortal into a vampire, or upon giving birth to a vampire. And it would be best if we did not make that aware either. It's not so my thralls I'm worried about, but there are friends that I have who I do not trust the company that they keep, but it is hard to contest when they are by far the strongest being in their castle. And that is simply a matter of fact. But if a thrall were to trick them into turning another, or if one of my friends were to have children, it wouldn't be beyond thought that some of the thralls might use that as a moment to seize power. So, please do forget. I'm sorry for burdening you with this knowledge. But, how about this? I promise to take you wherever you want next time we go out. All right? It is a deal, and I'll ensure to save the date. A kiss on the hand is a gesture of respect from me to you. Now let's head back home. We can plant and care for the seed together.